Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And this is a match preview of Newcastle United versus Fulham at St James's Park at 3 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. If you do like what you see, please do smash that like. It does help the channel up the search. So please do smash that like, and it means new viewers can find it more easily as well. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, then come and smash that subscribe. It is free to do so, helps the channel grow. And that bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming show. By hitting that subscribe, you do join this great community we have here, and it is free. Also, if you want to become a member, it's 99p. You can do that by clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that in the chat by clicking on the $ as well. And as I say, don't forget to smash the like either. Okie dokie. Let's get into some comments first of all before we get into the show. And Mad Max says, good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Excited for tomorrow now. The pressure of Europe isn't hanging on over us onwards and upwards. Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's still a bit of a, the pressure of not having European football. But again, it feels a bit of a disaster, really, because we should have held on for a draw, in all honesty, and dropped at the Europa League. I agree, Mad Mag, that hung over us like a cup final. Yeah, absolutely. Look, we all know we were all hurt by what happened on Wednesday. Bit of naivety, maybe. We were going for that winner. Maybe we pushed too hard and ultimately paid the price of not getting into the next, it's staying in Europe. So it is disappointing, but, we got to put that aside now and face Fulham tomorrow evening. Tony says, Bia, good evening to you, Bia. Rolly's not on tonight because he's at a Christmas do. Why only 3 viewers? Because 2 viewer on, but tomorrow it'll be 1. 1-0. Yeah, maybe if their show's still running at the moment, that's possibly why. Yeah, maybe that's why that's maybe why it's not many people on, because 2 viewers still live. But once they finish, obviously people then just nip over here. And he says, I watch TTR, but I like to watch this because you actually read the comments. Yeah, that's no problem at all, mate. No problem at all. I try and read everybody's comments if I possibly can. Sometimes it can be impossible when we have so many comments coming in. So, I mean, look, tomorrow, it's going to be a tough game against Fulham. It's not going to be easy. Fulham have done well. They beat Forest 5-0. They beat West Ham 5-0. In the last 4 games, they've scored 16 goals. So that, they're not a bad team. They know where the back of the net is. But their away form isn't great. It's a bit like us. Our away form's not great. Their away form's not great, but our home form is good. So tomorrow it's going to be interesting to see how we get back into it. Daniela's in the chat. Hi, Daniela. Hope you're well. She says, look, I told you it'd be tough. You should have gone for third with better game management. Do you know what is, Daniela? I totally and utterly agree with you, because, look, what I said was we should have held on for that draw. Even if we drop into Europa League, so what? It's still the European competition. And, Eddie Howe's probably told the players to go for the win, but then we maybe we made it too much of an open game, which meant they could get us on the attack. But look, we should have held on. We didn't hold on. And we're out of European competition. I suppose it's one thing less to worry about now, as we try and get players back also. But I totally agree with the game management side. We should have... David says, what do you think is going on with Lewis Hall? Strange. Yeah, look, David, it is strange. I mean, look, there's a lot of things going on about Lewis Hall at the minute, and I'm a bit... I just don't get it. I really, really don't get it. I mean, somebody's put a quote out from Dan Ashworth. Now, I'm not sure how true this is, or if it has actually got any, if it has got any actual um, legs in it, shall I say? But according to Dan Ashworth, spoken about Lewis Hall, and he says Lewis Hall has not developed in the way we anticipated during the scouting assessment. Yes, there are financial implications and appearance-related criteria at play. Yeah, but fundamentally, if a player was positively developing, then they would get the chance. Now, whether that's come from Dan Ashworth himself, I do not know. Because at the end of the day, is that just somebody stirring up a little bit of controversy? Or is it actually true? You know, I mean, I've said, is there some sort of criteria where if you play so many minutes or games, then we have to actually buy him? The obligation will then be set. Have the club looked at him and thought, he's not what we want? And, they don't really want him playing because they don't want to pay that money in the summer. So it's one of them. It's a funny one. I mean, look, I can see Broadburn on for minutes the other night against AC Milan. But if you want somebody who can fly down that left side, you should have had Hall on. I think, and in all honesty, Hall should have come on rather than Burn the other night. I think Burn was maybe partly to blame for the second goal. As was Shea, because he was he was in the forward position in the opposition's box. I mean, if we weren't messing about in that box, if we just took a shot, they wouldn't get that second goal. But yeah, I do find it strange with Lewis Hall, mate. I really do. Andrew says hi. Well, hi, Andrew. James says, well, we're knackered, so we have to step it up a notch. Yeah, Howie the Toon, absolutely, mate, absolutely. Daniela says, yeah, they beat us 5-0, but we had a bug in the team. Yeah, that's fair enough, Daniela. When you've cut players out, but there's nothing you can do about it. There is bugs going around at the moment, and fortunately, it's this time of the year now, isn't it? So, yeah. You would have been a tough opposition in the Europa. Yeah, I think we could have. Yeah, absolutely. But it's not to be. AC Milan are there, and it's not us. Could have been Paris Saint-Germain. That'd be AC Milan, no? BR says we don't have the big game mentality yet. Do you know what it is, BR? That's a very good point you make there, because look, we've seen it in the big games where we have frozen. We played well in that Carabao Cup final. We just couldn't score against Man United. And you're absolutely right. We need... The thing the other night was against AC Milan was what we should have done was we need to get in the experience side of European football where you're making tactical fouls. Now, if somebody had brought Jovic down just outside the box, yes, it would have been a free kick. But it doesn't mean to say they're necessarily scoring from that free kick. They don't get that second goal. They'd done a few tactical fouls and they worked because they broke the game up. Yes, they took a couple of yellow cards for it, but they'll take that all day. And that's what we've got to understand. Gary says, hi Gary D, hope you're well, my friend. He says, I hope Dubravka's not in goal as he's letting 9 in his last 3. Tony, mate. Do you know what it is? I totally agree with you, Gary. I totally agree with you. He's had an illness, he's been off with a bug, and he's been playing through it, apparently. Now, Eddie Howe said today in his press conference that Martin Dubravka's had a bug, he says, but there's been a few people who've had them. And like Daniel, I just said earlier on, West Ham, they had a major bug through their team. That's how Fulham beat them 5-0. But when I listened to that interview from Eddie Howe, I'm sort of getting the impression Dubravka's going to play tomorrow regardless. Now, if he has a howler tomorrow, the the thing is, we don't want anybody costing us points, and I just don't think Dubravka is the same keeper as he used to be now. You watch him against AC Milan when Leao hit the post. Why didn't Dubravka come out and make himself big? He just stayed back. The same for Tomori, Fikayo Tomori. I mean, look, his shot, he hit the post. He had so much to aim for when he hit the post. Again, Dubravka, I just don't know what's up with him. He's just not the same keeper. He's not the same keeper we used to have. And look, I don't want to be on here. People thinking I'm criticising players because I'm not. But I just don't think Dubravka's up to it. And I agree with Paul from TTR when he says Dubravka's had his best days now. And, sadly, he's 34. I really don't know. I hope he's not playing tomorrow, but I think he may start. I've got that feeling. He went, how are the lads? He brought Burn on to tuck in whilst Tino pushed forward like Trippier does. Yeah, but Burn went forward as well, didn't he? Do you think we've seen this much of Tino if it wasn't for injuries, Tony, or do you think he's just got lucky and shone through? I think if we didn't have the injuries, I don't think he gets a look in, if I'm honest, Madback. I really don't. But when he played in those Carabao Cup games, he really, really stood out. But now he's playing regular. Obviously, I can see Burn will start tomorrow ahead of Hall because obviously Trippier is out. So Tino will move to right back and Burn will play left back. But I'm glad he's had the chance to show what he can do because some people were a bit like, Livramento, do we really want him for that price? But now we've got him. Everybody's like, wow, I'm glad we've got him. And yeah, he's absolutely flying, isn't he? Daniela says, yes, bit of naivety, but also a bit of arrogance, and think you could compete with the experienced Champions League campaigners. Yeah, I wouldn't say so much arrogance. I'd just say, we just seem to go out there and try and look, AC Milan were not a great team in that group, let's be honest. We should have beat them, in all honesty. I mean, the turning point probably that helped them was when we could have gone 2-0 up, when Bruno's shot was superbly saved by Mike Maignan. But if it wasn't for that save and that ball goes in, that's 2-0. I can't see AC Milan come back from that. But because it was staying at 1-0, it kept AC Milan in the game more. So, and because we were just pushing forward, we just, gave them we basically handed them that win. And obviously, in return, it's kept their manager in the job as well. Losing Tonali was critical to our Champions League campaign. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, Tonali would have given us that experience that we needed. But, that's the thing. We can't dwell on that too much either. We've got to get on with it, and that's the unfortunate part about it. But yeah, I see exactly where you're coming from on that one, Beer. David says, just disagree about the Europa because there isn't a financial incentive, and unless you won it with our squad, we can kiss the Champions League goodbye, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, look, if you win the Europa League, obviously you get Champions League. I'm in agreement with you, Dave. Do you know what? I look at it and I just think, I just can't see where we're going to get into the top four this season. We've lost 6 games already. Now, when I said this to Rowley turned around and said, yeah, but nothing's decided in December. Yes, we know nothing's decided in December, Rowley, but we've lost 6 games already. And, we've got to go on a run now where we're not losing. And we've got to go on a huge long run where we're not losing. So, it's not easy. It's not easy. For me, goalkeeper is the most important position to recruit, not right wing or centre forward. Yeah, I totally agree. We definitely need a goalkeeper. Definitely. I mean, according to the Team Talk website, apparently De Gea could be out of reach on wages wise. But again, that's just talk on them. That's just paper talk or whatever they do. You know, their media talk. But who knows? We don't know what the club are doing. They could be in touch with De Gea for all we know and trying to sort out a deal with him. But if we can get a keeper in, I'm sure we can try and get a winger in the forward. We can always go to Saudi for a loan. I would still say take Benzema on loan for the rest of the season, definitely. All other groups we escape with these. Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, though, yeah, you know, that group, we played so well. I mean, look, we took PSG apart at home 4-1. We were robbed in Paris. We should never have had that penalty. Should never have been given in the first place. It shouldn't have even been sent to the referee to go and look at the monitor. It should have been done and dusted. And he's here saying, no, it's no penalty. Carry on the game. If we'd won that game in Paris, we'd be through. You have to be in to win it. We were in it. Yeah. Yes, it's. I get there. It's not. But get Europe. Yeah, absolutely, Daniela. You never know. Might play better without Trips, Tony, mate. Yeah, well, Trippier came off with a bit of a limp, didn't he, the other night? So gives Trippier a rest. You know, he'll be back for the Carabao Cup quarter final, no doubt. Lee, hi mate. He says Miggy should have hit the easy shot with his right. Absolutely, Lee. I mean, look, that chance he had the other night. I mean, geez, honestly, you know, if he doesn't even have to smash it with his right foot. He only has to just get his foot on it and just, you know, let it deflect in. And that's all he had to do. And there's no way tomorrow he's getting anywhere near that. And it would have been in the back of the net. And it's key chances like that. If you're missing those simple chances, they'll come back and they'll bite you in the backside. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, Joe Linton's goal was absolutely terrific. He took that goal really well. As I say, Bruno forced a wonderful save at the goalkeeper. It was a tremendous save. I mean, I would love that keeper at Newcastle because I rate him quite highly, Mike Manion. But look, yeah, it's just it is what it is, and you know, we got to move on from it. Agree, Gary. The rest has come. Good time for him. Mad Max says, I agree, Tony. I said before the start of the season, it's going to be a tough battle between Brighton and Villa, and unfortunately, Villa have left us for dust. Absolutely, Villa are flying under Emery, you know, and the problem is as well, we haven't got the squad because, look, we know FFP is a major hurdle to overcome. But I think in the summer we need to, if we want to be an elite team and be up there, what we need to start doing is we need to start upgrading some players. So the likes of Paul Dummett, Matt Ritchie, Jamal Lascelles, these sort of players need upgraded. Yes, Lascelles has had a great run in the team. He's played well for us. But is Lascelles the next level player for that next level? No, he's not. But he's been solid enough for us. But as I say, if you want that next level player, you've got to start replacing these players. Like some Mickey. I wouldn't sell Mickey. I'll keep him as a squad player. But you definitely upgrade the right wing. Now there's talk that we've told Forest and Palace we want 20 to 25 million for Jacob Murphy. If we get him, get the money for that. As long as we get a replacement, I would say, yeah, I'm happy with him to go. Because Newcastle are looking at a player called Matti Sule who plays in Frosinone on loan from Juventus. And he's worth around about the £20 million mark. But he's a good winger. He started 13 games and he scored 6 goals in 13 games as a right winger. He plays attacking midfield and right wing. That's what you want from your wingers. You want goals, and we're not seeing it from Miggy. Last year, Miggy was flying. He was in double figures by the new year. This time around, he's still in single figures. So, there's a massive difference this year. There's a massive drop off from Almiron last season to Almiron this season. And he either needs to find his mojo and start scoring and doing things, but if not, we need to replace him. It's all about game management in Europe. We've not been great, but we manage the games. I think Newcastle need to win trophies first before regular Champions League. I agree, Daniel. I agree. You've got to have game management in Europe. All these teams that play regular in Europe, they're all experienced. We haven't been in Europe since, for 10 years, and we haven't been in Champions League for 20 years. So, it was a big shock. But saying that, I think we coped pretty well in that Champions League. Yes, the only team that actually beat us twice was Dortmund, home and away, and then obviously AC Milan beat us. David says, yeah, I agree. I doubt we'll get in the Champions League this season. Maybe next season would be better without Europe. Seasons are right off apart from the Cubs. Yeah, I mean, look, see where we finish. And then we'll have to wait and see what happens. Alan says, evening, bit late, look. No problem, Alan. Good evening to you, mate. He says, we win that game if we take the chances and their goalie makes a worldie save. All those games with no subs of any quality, season not over, cups 4 and 5 and 4 to 5. Yeah, do you know what, Alan? I absolutely agree. Look, I mean, yes, Mike Minion pulled off a tremendous save the other night. I mean, it was a wonderful save. He is a good goalkeeper. I do highly rate him, to be fair. But when you're not taking simple chances, like Miggy had the goal at his mercy. He only had to put his right foot on it. Doesn't have to blast it or anything, or try and place it, or just touch it. Just touch it with his foot and it goes in. Even if he just flicks it with his right foot, it's in. By the time he goes to his left foot for it, the chance is gone. So the way I look at it is, we should have had game management the other night. We didn't. You should go into a game thinking, if you're not going to win the game, don't lose it. Simple as, don't lose it. But we didn't. We went for that win, and that just left us wide open. And the team's tired, and other teams are taking advantage of us. Facebook user, I don't know who you are. If you click settings, it does let you put your name on, display your name. He says, you got any plans to do videos at the match like the other YouTubers, buddy? It's when I can get a ticket to get to the match. I haven't been successful in any of the ballots yet. But when I do get one, yes, I certainly will be doing something from the match as well. So yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Only halfway in the league. Yeah, absolutely, Alan. But again, we've lost 6 games. Last season, we only lost 4 all season. So we need to now go on a run, starting tomorrow. And we need to go on a long run. Next Saturday, we're away to Luton Town, which ain't going to be easy in the Premier League. They've given Liverpool a scare. They give Man City a scare. And then obviously we've got Forest at home. And then we've got Liverpool away on New Year's Day. So it's not going to get any easier. David says, I said this at the start of last season. We are mad to go into this season with Miggy as our starting right winger. I love Rafinha. Yeah, absolutely. I think Murphy being out's been a miss because Murphy does well at right wing. But with his dislocated shoulder, he's been a huge miss. Even if Harvey Barnes was fit, I think you could play Barnes left and Anthony Gordon right. Bias says, all fine margins. Milan last minute shot by Longstaff. Yeah. Wilson chance versus Dortmund. Joe Linton header against the PSG and the PSG. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Joe Linton scores that equaliser at Dortmund. Then, you know, yeah, it could have all been different. Miggy, not good enough. Got to upgrade, says Alan. I totally agree, Alan. I totally agree. I think a lot of people are seeing that now. That we need to upgrade on on Miggy. Lascelles has reached his limit and is now regressing. Yeah, absolutely. You know, as I say, if you want to go at that next level, is Lascelles that type of player to take you to the next level? No, he isn't. Not at all. Miggy plays hot and cold, says Gary. Unfortunately, plays more cold than hot. I've got to agree, Gary. I mean, look, Miggy, right. We love him to bits as a player. He's all over the place. He's full of heart. He's full of energy. He gets everywhere. He tracks back. He helps out the defence. It's great for doing that. It's the final third that's letting him down. And the fact he's on the right wing and he's got to go from right foot to left foot. By the time he does that, then other teams are around, other players around him, and the chance is gone. Now, when I've always said, and my regular viewers will know this, and I've been banging this drum for the last year now, that I want to see Miggy on the left. Now, we saw him on the left against Man United at Old Trafford in the Carabao Cup, and I thought he had an outstanding game. And that's where he should be, in my opinion. They took the Carabao Cup before a Champions League run, in my honest opinion. But grateful it's freed up for FFP now, though. Yeah, absolutely. Evening, Tony in chat, says Ian Fleming. Good evening to you, Ian. Hope you're well, my friend. Daniela says, no, I think Europa or Conference could be the meeting in Newcastle. You could win them both and then bounce. You will be massive. Do you know what, Daniela? I think, yeah. I mean, look, you got to look at West Ham this season. You know, and you're in the top half of the Premier League. Last season, you were struggling in the bottom half of the Premier League. This season, you're in the top half of the Premier League. You won the Europa Conference. Obviously, you sold Declan Rice for over 100 million quid to Arsenal. And that's the difference. And you're flying in the Europa League. So, you know, and people who write this Europa Conference League off and say, no, it's only a Mickey Mouse Cup. You know, you ask the likes of Daniela, who's in the chat, who's a West Ham fan. She probably doesn't think it's a Mickey Mouse Cup because it's a European trophy. It doesn't matter if it's the bottom of the ladder of European competitions. You know, it doesn't matter if it's bottom of the ladder. At the end of the day, you're winning a European trophy regardless, whether it's Conference League, Europa League, or Champions League. It's a European trophy, and you know. And I think that's probably what's helped West Ham this season. We need a good bench to be able to rotate and bring 3 or 4 game changes on without worrying. Absolutely. I mean, look, you go back to West Ham. Look, when we were winning at West Ham 2-1, who did they bring on? They brought Kudus on and Kudus got the equaliser. That's what I'm saying. You've got to have game changers on your bench. Now, Eddie was asked about Yankubo Minty because he scored against Celtic. Sorry, Ian. But it's all right. He's one of ours, Ian, so yeah, I don't think you mind that. Eddie says he doesn't think there's any return clause for him to come back in January. So that looks like that door is firmly shut, so he'll be there till the end of the season. Alan says, I know no easy games, but chance to get a few results together with the next 4 games before Liverpool. Absolutely, Alan. We've got to go and beat Fulham tomorrow. We have to. As I say, Fulham haven't been great away from home this season, so we need to jump on that. You know, yes, they've scored 16 goals in the last 4 games, but we need to jump on that and make sure they don't score against us and we can go and win the game. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting game, that one. Bonds may now need surgery. For me, questions of the medical team have to be asked. Always seem to put surgery off. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, I saw that today with Eddie Howe in his press conference, and again, Beer, not great, is it? Another player that may be out of action for a lot longer than we're actually anticipating now. Tony Ross says, "Evening, Tony. How are you? I'm absolutely fine, mate. How are you? Hope you're well too, mate." And Tony Ross, oh, thank you very much again, Tony. He's actually gifted 10 memberships. So thank you very much indeed for that, my friend. That's very kind. So yeah, that is very kind of you indeed, Tony. And I'm just going to see if we can see who's benefited from. So people who've got memberships from Tony Ross tonight are as follows: Mighty Mag, Clue Grow Mold, James Reacts is a member, Ian UFC, David Hutchinson, Spirit Universe, Gordon Kretzka, Ian O'Brien, Michael Shield, Leon Biro as well. So those guys have got memberships. Now, those memberships last you for a month, and then after that, if you want to continue the membership, you just continue by clicking the join button as well. So again, thank you very much, Tony Ross, for your kind generosity in gifting memberships. So yeah, welcome to the memberships, Mighty Mag. And James Reacts as well. I agree, need an upgrade on Biggie, says Tony Ross. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I mean, chances like that, you've got to bury chances like that. And if you can't bury chances like that, like the other night, then we aren't going to win these games. Thank you, Tony, says Julie. Over the moon to see so many green names in the chat. Kraken channel deserves all the support we can give it. Only channel I'm a member of. Thank you very much indeed, Mad Mag. Look, at the end of the day, as I always say, we always give complete honesty on here. We never lead anybody up the garden path. Even when it comes to like transfers, if we do a transfer show, we always say, look, the player hasn't signed. It's, the only time we can see a player signed for us is when you see them holding the scarf and wearing the black and white shirt. But, if it's a rumour, we'll always bring it out and we'll say, look, this is a rumour, and we'll state it's a rumour, because some channels, I'm not just talking Newcastle channels, I'm talking other football channels. So I'm talking as a whole. Some channels I've seen, they'll say to people, oh, we're getting it. Well, our viewers, oh, we're getting this player, getting that player, getting that player. And they don't get any of them through the door. And it makes them look like idiots. And that's one thing I won't do, is make myself look like an idiot. So I'll always say it's a rumour. If the media link with somebody, I'll say, right, we're linked with this person. It's a rumour. Until they've signed, they haven't signed yet, but we'll have a look at their stats. And that's what we do. Alan says, got a great chance to progress in the League Cup if we get past Chelsea, and they're not a team at the moment. No, absolutely, Alan. I totally agree with you, mate. We can beat Chelsea. The fans are on Pochettino's back. They want them out, which I can't understand, because, look, it doesn't matter who you have in there. You could put Harry Potter in there, and he's a wizard, and he probably couldn't do his magic on them. That team is full of individuals. They're all out of sorts. And, I just think their ownership has got everything wrong everywhere. Season starts now, absolutely. Tony says we need a quality central defensive midfielder. Do you know what? This is what I was saying last year. This is why I know West Ham's got him, but I would have had Edson Alvarez. I think he's a great CDM. Or someone like a Kefren Turam would be absolutely fantastic as well. So, or a Manu Coney, who I absolutely think is a brilliant player, by the way. Yeah, that's what we need. Someone with that quality and ilk. Daniela says, no, it's not for us that don't win things and year in, year out, give the Europa or conference all day. Absolutely, Daniela. That top four is starting to move away from fifth. Hope we can catch them up in January. We need to, and we need to start getting some signings in as well. Whether we'll buy players or loan them, but we can go to Saudi and loan a couple of players, I suppose. And Ian saying, thank you to Tony Ross. How did Man City get in the first years of the Champions League? Says Foxy. Hi, by the way, mate. He says, didn't even win a single game in the group. Fans' expectations have never been realistic, especially when you take into account our group and injuries. Absolutely. And the thing is, what you got to remember is a team who's won the Champions League before and a team that's from a place on the other side of the country called Manchester United finished on less points than we did. And we had a harder group than Man United. So there you go, goes to show, Man U had an easier group in some ways. You could have looked at Copenhagen and said, well, they're not going to be a strong team. But they took Man U apart, and obviously they beat Galatasaray and qualified. But yeah. So we actually finished on more points than Man United by 1 point. So yeah, I think we've done well in that group considering how tough that group was. I did say before the Champions League started when that draw came out, if we could finish as one of the best third team places, then that would be absolute progress to get the Europa League. Now, if somebody had said to me the last game in that group, we would still be in with a chance of qualifying the next round, the Champions League, I would have laughed at them. I would have laughed and said, not a chance, not a chance. But you know what? I think we've done terrific in that. And yeah, well done for it as well. Am I the only one who wants Mitro back? Possibly Julie, I think. Although he is doing well over there, isn't he, in Saudi? He says, no problem. Merry Christmas, says Tony Ross. Merry Christmas to you. Also, we don't know how other teams will be hit by injuries. Don't know strength of Villa. Tottenham fell away as soon as a few out. Yeah, absolutely, Alan. If Villa get a few injuries, how are they going to react? That is the thing, yeah. If they lose some important players like Sir Watkins, McGinn, how are they going to fare? Bia says, R.I.P. Zach Dingle. Yeah, absolutely, Steve Halliwell. Yeah, absolutely, Bia. A great actor and, probably everybody's lovable rogue, I suppose, in Emmerdale. But, so sad. 77 years of age as well. And, yeah, absolutely. Mad Magan, you don't put on your accent like John Sinclair. My accent's purely natural, mate. What you say, Tony, is constructive and true to most of the time. Haha, says, thank you very much indeed, mate. No, absolutely, mate. I wouldn't dream of saying anything. I wouldn't go out there and say, by the way, in January we're going to sign Mbappe, we're going to sign this player and that player. Not that I want Mbappe in the team because, he's a great player, let's be honest, but I don't think he's the right player for our team because we like players with the right characteristics, and I don't think he has that. Messi missed a similar chance as Foxy to what Miggy had for Argentina. What's interesting is that was called a great tackle. The complete opposite for Tomori this week. World-class tackle. Yeah. Do you know what? I think Tomori had a good game. And I like Tomori. I would definitely have him at Newcastle as centre-back. Chelsea must be looking at that and kicking themselves and thinking, why the hell did they sell him? And that is the thing. I mean, look, They've got a 39-year-old playing at the back for them, Thiago Silva, who is not that great. Age is catching up with them now. I think they were silly when they sold Tomori. Lee says, hope we can get a good forward. That's a good goal poacher. Yeah, absolutely, Lee. As I say, I would take Benzema for the rest of the season on loan. Yeah, he's 35. He knows where the back of the net is. He's a very experienced striker. Not saying he starts games, but it's a great option to have on the bench to just say, oh, let's get Karim Benzema on. Daniela says Alvarez was outstanding on Thursday. I didn't see the game, Daniela, but I've been impressed with him. I do really like him. I really do. He's worried about Villa, says Tony. I think we'll worry about ourselves and then we'll see what happens. But I think if Villa get a few injuries, I think they could be stuffed. Everyone had an easier group due to the coefficient how the draws made, says Bia. Yeah, absolutely. And it was just written in the stars for us to play AC Milan, wasn't it? With all the needle that we had with them, over the Botman saga. And then after the Botman saga, then obviously with the Tonali deal as well. And it's just, yeah. But again, we did very well in that group and we were very, very close, but not close enough. As I say, a little bit of naivety going forward. If you're not going to win the game, don't lose it. And that is the mentality we should have had not to have lost that game, And Daniela says, man, you are shy compared to you. Yeah, I know what you mean there, Daniela. Look, the thing I couldn't understand was I saw it yesterday on Sky Sports and I thought, what the hell? That when Jim Ratcliffe comes in properly, he's already got Graham Potter on a managerial shortlist in case Ten Hag leaves. Although there's no plan to sack Ten Hag at the moment, as they state. When stories start coming out that a club is looking at other managers and they're saying there's no plans of sacking Ten Hag, then I think Ten Hag needs to be worried because that is normally the case. You don't go out publicly and say, oh, you want this manager or that, or you're going to put this manager on the shortlist, but you're still backing the manager you've got. We've seen it before. So it could be Man U play this weekend, lose, Ten Hag's out of a job. It's more like the dreaded vote of confidence. Man U, who's them? Foxy says we have 3 teams in our group where 2 have history of winning the competition. PSG, who have reached the final recently, was never going to be easy. Our lack of experience was evident to see. That's it, Foxy. Look, I thought we were terrific at home to PSG. Thoroughly deserved that 4-1 win. For the way we battled in France against Paris, we were absolutely fantastic. Them players give their all that night. We were just undone and robbed by a refereeing decision. VAR sent the ref to the monitor. The ref should have had the balls and turned around. This is supposed to be a world-class referee who's refereed a World Cup final between Argentina and France in Qatar. A referee who refereed the Champions League final. He should have had the balls and said, no, I'm not satisfied. That is not a penalty. It's no penalty. Carry on with the game. We would have won that game. We would have gone through. But you know what? Yes, we have a lot of experience, Foxy. I do understand where you're coming from on that one. But at the end of the day, all I'm going to say is those lads did proud. We've had a great time in that Champions League. Yes, we finished bottom, but that doesn't tell the whole story. We had close chances against, Longstaff shots saved in the last minute against Milan at the San Siro. Against Dortmund. Like somebody said earlier, if Joe Linton puts that chance away and makes it 1-1, it's a different game. Absolutely. It's all about taking your chances. So, yeah. But I'm sure the experience does us the world of good. Man U were terrible, says Alan. Absolutely, Alan. Also, we need a quality striker. Yeah, another quality striker. Yeah, I mean, look, Isak didn't look right the other night, did he, when he come on? And he hasn't looked right for a few games, Isak. And I'm just trying to work out what's wrong with him at the moment. Alan says, but results will turn soon. Must stay in touch, or the gap can't be much more. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you on that one, Alan. Absolutely. Tomori and Botman would be unbelievable. Absolutely, David. Wouldn't they just? I like Tomori. I mean, I went to the England Malta game at Wembley recently, and Tomori had a stinker. But that was because he was stuck out at left back because England had no left backs. And they stuck him out in left back, and he had a terrible game against Malta. Because he's not a left back, he's a centre back. Foxy says, Tomori, the natural long-term replacement for Shea, doesn't get enough credit domestically or internationally. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, look, he was player of the season a couple of years, wasn't he, for AC Milan? Not last season, the season before. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. And Mbappe didn't have the heart to shake one of our players' hands. What a toss-up. Yeah, so I'm saying his attitude's all wrong at times. Ian says, if we get 2 or 3 quality players in Jan and injuries clear up, we can still have a great season. Absolutely. Absolutely bang on, Ian. You know, first thing we need to do is make sure we beat Chelsea and get in that semi-finals. Alan says, do you think there was something up with Isak as he's carrying an injury? Well, he's come back, hasn't he, from an injury, so he shouldn't be carrying an injury, but I don't know, I'm just not sure. There's something just not right. Julie doesn't think he's fully recovered from that last injury. Maybe not. Tony says, that's why we get Man U, Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea win most time in the cup games. Do you know what it is, though? If we're going to win the Carabao Cup, we're doing it the hard way. We played Man City. Okay, we weren't meant to play them because we got actually given the wrong number ball, but we played them and we beat them 1-0. We went to Old Trafford. In the next round, we thought, oh, here we go again, another tough draw. So we're going to beat 2 Manchester clubs and the holders. And we beat them comfortably 3-0 at Old Trafford with a team with 6 full backs in there until one had to go off after 3 minutes in Matt Target. And then we got drawn to Chelsea. I think we can beat Chelsea. Not a problem at all. New owners will want their own staff at Man U, absolutely. They've already got Richard Arnold gone, haven't they? I'm going to say good night. Maybe we play in the League Cup final. Do you know what? That's a good shout, that, Danielle. Yeah, you never know, do you? Yeah, so, yeah. And great to see you on again, Daniela, and good night and enjoy the rest of your evening. Ian says, see the Mackham fans are up in arms over us getting 6,000 tickets for the cup tie. Well, we could have had 7,000, so yeah, sod them. Let them get annoyed, you know. It looks like they're getting a new manager in the ex-Rangers manager, Michael Beale. Maybe he'll do something good for them because he's a good championship manager. But, you know, I don't know. Depends. But as long as he doesn't do well against us, I don't care. Doesn't tell a story. Could have finished 2 up in final 20 minutes in 15 minutes of all league stages. Yeah, absolutely, Alan. We could have. It's all we could have, should have, but at the end of the day, we didn't do it. And that's what's disappointing. The fact is, we could have even dropped us into the Europa League. But it's all right. These other clubs can laugh at us fans and say, oh, yeah, ha, 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 Newcastle's not that great. It's not because we're not that great. It's the experience of European competition. Draws and cups are fixed for TVs. That's how the sponsors make their money back selling the rights. Could be right there, you know. Lee says, we beat Chelsea, we couldn't end up playing Borough. Yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it? Um, if we played the Borough in the semi-finals. Julie says good night to Daniela. Yeah, Daniela's great, isn't she? I'd love that if at the London Stadium I'll be there. What happened to that Will Stills? Wasn't he in for the Mackham job? I'm not sure, was he? He's the manager of Reims, isn't he? Will Still. I tell you what, he's been a terrific manager there, hasn't he? And I don't think he's got his coaching badges yet, because I think they get fined every game, don't they? Because he's not got his coaching badges. Foxy says, this was my issue with Isak at Sociedad. He was never injured long term, where you could say injury prone, but he kept getting niggling injuries which would affect his form in the final year. Similar now. Yeah, just something's not right, is it, about Isak, Foxy? And I totally agree with what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Might fill the stadium, absolutely. Well, I've seen one Mackham come out on Twitter and said if Michael Beale gets the job, they can stuff the season ticket up their backside. So I thought, oh, okay. Fickle man, Sunderland fan. Relegation for the Mackhams if he gets the job, Tony, so hope he gets it, lol. I love that, Ian. I love that, mate. Maybe the owner of Sunderland, Kirill, maybe he's gone to his mummy and the manager he wanted, and she's probably said, no, you can't have that much money. You can only have this bit of money. So if you want that manager, you'll have to save up your money in your piggy bank, or I can give you this bit of money, but it'll get you Michael Beale. And he's probably said, okay, Mammy, I'll go for Michael Beale then. Thank you. I'm joking, by the way, but yeah. Hope that's made everybody's day. Ian says, still 2 or 3 being considered. Oh, he's got his badges now. Okay, then. Lovely. Isak not fully recovered from the groin injury, says Craig. Yeah, you can see he doesn't look happy, does he? All right when he's running about. Matey Wynn says, hi, mate. He says, Will Stills is on their list, but I was talking to a well-informed Mackham fan today and he reckons it's not going to happen. Maybe he's waiting for a Premier League job. Sloth would be a good manager for Sunderland, says Lee. Absolutely. Craig says Sunderland spewing they have doubled the prices. They're unbelievable, that lot, aren't they, down the road at Sunderland? Anyway, let's have a look at towards tomorrow's game. So it is a 3 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday afternoon, which is absolutely great. Again, another traditional 3 p.m. kickoff. So we're not on the TV again. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game tomorrow because, as I say, Fulham have been on fire in the front of goal, but it's their away form which isn't the best. It's a bit like us, great at home, but away from home we ain't that great, are we? So again, we just have to wait and see. Right, let's get into it and see who our match officials are for tomorrow as well. So, the official tomorrow, the referee is Sam Barrett. He's assisted by Mark Perry and Steve Meredith. The fourth official is Ollie Langford. VAR is Michael Salisbury, and assistant VAR is James Mainwaring. Sam Barrett, I don't know a lot, but I don't even think we've had a match with him before, if I'm honest. So that's a new referee. But again, let's hope we don't give him anything to do and he doesn't have to, he doesn't have a lot to do and VAR doesn't have a lot to do and we can go on and win the game, because it is going to be a tough game against Fulham tomorrow. But if we approach the game in the right manner, we should have enough to win the game. I can give you some stats on Sam Barrett this season, by the way. Barrett is new to the Premier League this season. He's only stepped to the top flight earlier in the campaign. He was in the EFL, and he did the 2022 Vars final between Littlehampton Town and Newport Pagnell. So far this season, between the Premier League, Championship and Carabao Cup, he's had 18 games in all competitions, issued 62 yellow cards and 2 red cards as well. So there we go. Trevor said, I think that keeper should have saved one of them goals as he's not trying to save the tune. Yeah, I see what you mean. You'll never joke, Tony. All go for 3-1, but it is a tough game, absolutely. Foxy says, funny how times change. Media made out Michael Beale was the brains behind Gerrard's success as manager, goes to Rangers and then gets sacked. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, he did well for QPR, but it's a big step up, isn't it, from Championship to Scottish Premier League. A measly 6,000 tickets for Shiteline. Thank you, Northumbria Constabulary. Constabulary says, mighty win. Yeah, exactly. Going to be tough without Trippier. He drives so much. Yeah, he does. But there again, I'm sure Tino will do the same work. Tony Rossi, is that Bonnie Langford's dad? I haven't got a clue. Craig said, I can't believe Dubravka is in front of Karius. Showed no loyalty when he went to Manx. Do you know what I mean? This is an argument that I rage on with. I mean, look, I don't think he's covered himself in glory. Don't think he's covered himself in glory, in all honesty. The last 3 games, he hasn't been that great, if I'm honest. Yes, okay, the other night his distribution was okay. But there was a couple of times where he should have done more to close the angle down to stop Liao hitting the post and Tamori hitting the post. I'm with you. I would rather see Karius come in and have a game. Why not? You know, just give the guy a game and see what he does. You know, I mean, when Karius started in the Carabao Cup final, I thought he wasn't too bad, to be honest with you. You know, as I see the first goal, it was a header from Casemiro. There's no way he's getting anywhere near that. And for the second goal, he would have saved Rashford's shot, but it took the deflection off Botman's foot, which made it look worse than it actually was. And obviously people were shouting, "Oh, Karius has had a howler," but he hadn't had a howler because it was a deflection, and everybody saw that. So yeah, I would give Karius a start tomorrow, absolutely. Thanks, Captain Mannering. I've heard somewhere that Fulham have Willian out. Oh, I don't know about that. He's not been too bad for them, but he is getting. He's hitting the years now, isn't he? 36 or something, any Willian. Beale 2 games, 2 wins. They'll probably do better with Beale's heels, won't they? Craig says, stays on his line and flaps about crosses. Yeah, absolutely. Dubravka's not the keeper he used to be. That's the thing. Tony says, Eddie's got to play Karius. Absolutely. What's the problem with him trying to be number 1 at Man U instead of guaranteed number 2 at the tune? The thing is, matey, when I had Macy on my channel last year, and she said to me, she was so glad we took Dubravka back from Man U. She never rated him one bit. And, you know, why didn't he play much at Man U? Was he really that good? No. Why did they send him back in January? Because they didn't want him there. Been watching the match in the pub tomorrow. Still have my earpiece listening to Paul and Billy on TTR. Are they still going? Are they? The two strikes on the woodwork prove that Dubs did get his angles right. Okay, maybe he did then. Rashford was on good run when we played them in the cup, but he's went downhill since, says Mad Mag. There's talk that he's fell out with Ten Hag. I preferred to Bradford. Neither are good keepers, but they need to go along with Gillespie. Gillespie is the only man who does less work than Paul Gallant. God. He was North East Player of the Year 2 years ago. Yeah, he was, wasn't he? I had to chuck my oldest son out today as he said he was buying me a crap United or a Sunderland top, so I chucked him out and said I deserved him. Prima donna. Yeah, absolutely. So I think, look, by listening to Teddy, I think he's going to start with Dubravka tomorrow. I really do. But let's hope he doesn't and he brings in Karius. What do I think the game's going to go tomorrow? Well, look, I would like to see us win this game 2-1. Because I think it could be a close game. Look, we beat them last year and it was a close game at home. But yeah, I think it could be a close game. So I'm going to see it 2-1. And let's see what happens. But let's get back to winning ways tomorrow. That's what we need. Back to winning ways and get back. Try and climb back up that table. Who's going to get the goals for us tomorrow? Who am I going for? Now, this is a tough one. I think I'm going to go for Callum Wilson. Yeah, I'm going to go Callum Wilson. And I'm going to go Anthony Gordon. There we go. Tony Rusty is off for tea. Tony, good night. Good night to you, mate. Enjoy your tea. Craig says, no, they're both shit shots, but had the whole other side of the goal to aim at. Yeah. 2-1 says Ian as well. 3-1 and Miggy will score. Foxy says Dubravka approached the allowed chance perfectly, not understanding this criticism. He never dived with his feet like he did at Spurs. Made himself big and Leao missed. Yes, yeah, he did actually. When you think about it now, yeah, the more you think about it, yeah, he did, didn't he? It's more than the Tomori one, but yeah, I mean, look, Leao I thought was quiet first half. He was anonymous, wasn't he? But second half, he just sort of brightened up a little bit. He is a terrific player, by the way, Leao. Lee says 2-1 win, Wilson and Joe Linton. Don't think Gordon will be playing. He could be. Take a look at Palhinha. He's of pure quality. I'd blow the January budget on him and loan Mahrez from Saudi. Do you know what it is, matey? When I would have Joe Palhinha any day of the week, I think he's a terrific player. I really do. Trevor says, what you think of Keller if the two can get him on loan as a keeper from Liverpool? Kieran Kelleher. I mean, look, he doesn't look a bad keeper. He doesn't get a lot of game time. But whether Liverpool would loan him to us, I doubt they very much would. I think that would be a non-starter in my opinion. Craig says hamstring injury. Oh, okay. That's not great if Anthony Gordon's out with a hamstring injury then. So who are we going to play on the left wing tomorrow? Matt Ritchie, no doubt. Not great. So, okay. So if Gordon's not playing tomorrow then, so I did say Wilson. I'll go for Bruno to get the second goal. De Gea on a freezer, no-brainer. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. But for sure, a keeper needs to be addressed now. Get someone in who's an upgrade on Pope. That should be the aim. Yeah, do you know what, Foxy? I totally agree. Need somebody who's good with that footwork. Someone like Edison at Man City, who's, I'm not saying we'll go and get Edison from Man City, but I think Edison at Man City is pretty good. Because he's good with his feet. And that's what you need. You've got to get a goalkeeper who can play with the ball at their feet, because that's how keepers are going now. As much as we don't like the little T-Rex prick, whatever you want to call him, Jordan Pickford, but, he's one of those keepers who can play with his feet as well. So that's what I'm saying. We just need someone, not Jordan Pickford, by the way. So I wouldn't want him in Newcastle United, that shirt at all. 4-2 to us, says Julie. Gordon will start, says Pierre. Eddie says he would be checked on the day. Yeah, let's hope he's fit then. Maybe keep him for midweek, yeah. Midfield will be Bruno, Shonio and Superboy J7 on the left. Do you not think Lewis Smiley keeps his place tomorrow, might you win? Or do you think Lewis Smiley gets a rest tomorrow and play him in the cup game? Because I think Lewis Smiley has been absolutely terrific for us. 17-year-old, and he's got an assist in the Champions League as well, on Wednesday. So this lad's he's been great for us. He really has. And you wouldn't think he was 17 years of age, because you think he's been playing in the Premier League for years. This lad's going to have a huge future ahead of him, and you can see it. Pre-match show, Tony. Yeah, there will be a pre-match tomorrow. That'll be around about 1:30. So do keep an eye out for that one. Foxy, I thought I was waiting. Foxy, I've been waiting for this all night. It's just took you now. Where's Rory? Disappeared since Antwerp beat Barcelona. What a place. What a country. I love it, Foxy. I love it. I love when you wind Rory up over Belgium. That guy, he just dropped his... Apparently he's at a Christmas party tonight. I wonder if he's having Brussels sprouts and a Belgian waffle. Oh, God, yeah. That guy, though, yeah. No, but he's had a Christmas do tonight, so that's why he's not around. But it could be the fact that Antwerp beat Barcelona and he probably didn't want to come on in case he got Belgium bashed tonight. Miley is Superboy. Absolutely, mighty win. You should get more Eps. She is better than Mary Earps. Yeah, she is a good keeper. Miley's been a fire. What a player. Absolutely, Lee. He is, absolutely. So I'm going 2-1 tomorrow. Because I think it'll be a tough game, but I think we'll scrape it. I just hope it's not one of them games where we go 2-0 up and they score in the last 5 minutes and make it nervous, So, but I think we'll win it 2-1 anyway. Anyway, if you do like what you see, please do smash that like. It helps keep the channel up towards the top of the search and means new viewers find it. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come be part of this great community we have here. And hitting that bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows as well. What do you think about the whole situation? Do you know what it is, Foxy? It's a weird one because, I don't know what's going on here with Hall. There must be something in the deal that if he doesn't play a certain amount of minutes or whatever, that we don't have to buy him. The obligation to buy goes out the window. I did mention a thing earlier. There was something about, and this is supposedly coming from Dan Ashworth. Whether it's true or not, I do not know. But what they're saying is, Dan Ashworth saying Lewis Hall has not developed the way we anticipated during the scouting assessment. Yes, there are financial implications and appearance-related criteria at play here. But fundamentally, if a player was positively developing, then they would get the chance. So I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't, in all honesty, I don't think I don't think we're going to keep Lewis Hall at this rate. I really don't. So it's a shame because I thought he was quite a good player. And I thought he played well against Man U. but there's other games where he hasn't been that great. I think he just want to retain Hall and recycle the FFP, says Pierre. Yeah, absolutely. We need players for the now, not for the future. Absolutely. Liam, hi mate, hope you're well. He says 5-0 Fulham. Face blue, smiling face. Well, your team's not very great away from home though, are they? So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Rolly probably having a few Belgian drinks tonight as well, says Lee, probably. Says earlier he's expected to sign for the club. Okay, Ian. We'll keep an eye on that one. Agree. I think Howe would like him, but youth right now isn't a priority. You should go for Garassi for whole half the fee. Yeah, absolutely. Man, you are sniffing around Garassi as well. Let's get in there before they get in, and let's snatch him. That would be a great move for us. Mad Max says, do you think the same before the injuries, Pierre? That's how I felt. I agree with you now, mate. Yeah. Or Leonardo. Yeah, Leonardo is not a bad player either. I think Foxy's mentioned him before. Miley Craig Hope says, still got intention to keep Hall. Just getting him to track back or something. Okay. Maybe there is something there then. Ashby's still on loan. Yeah, he is. He's doing well at Swansea, isn't he? So, yeah, Ashby's still on loan at Swansea. So yeah, so that's it. That's an interesting one. He's got to come back yet, as well as Harrison Ashby. So yeah, we just got to wait for him. Right, so we're coming to the end of the show, but didn't mean to write Miley. Yeah, no, that's no worries at all, Alan. Totally understand, mate. I thought Hall was ready to play after watching him at Chelsea. Yeah. Don't forget to hit the likes for Tony, everyone. Thank you very much. Arsenal linked to Leonardo, 15 million euros. Yeah, that's a bargain. I would take him for that price. Absolutely. Absolutely take him. Yeah, guys, so come to the end of the show now, but thank you very much for coming on. It's been a fantastic just over an hour tonight. I'll probably may pop onto Pete's channel, so do see if you do go onto PD Proudlooks channel, I may be on there, so you may catch me on there as well. But let's hope we can get back to winning ways tomorrow, and let's see if we can beat Fulham. I'm only saying 2-1, but you know, who knows? We could go out there and thrash them 5-0 and say what was all the fuss about. But anyway, remember the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. And I'm just going to go into some final comments before we wrap up tonight. Great show, Tony, and everyone getting better all the time. Thank you very much, Lee. Cheers, mate. I think Tino's better left back, yeah. And he's got to be in England left back, hasn't he, as well? Great show, Tony, says Ian. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. No, I'm Chelsea. Say no more, Nate. Oh, no worries, mate. You're Chelsea. Okay, mate. Take care, everyone. I thought you were Fulham when you were saying that, and then I realised with the blue in the section that you mean, yeah, blue. I don't think you'll beat us 5-0, mate, on Wednesday night, so I don't think that'll happen. But Julie says night and take care, everyone. Yeah, you too as well, Julie. And again, thanks to Tony Ross's generosity, he gifted 10 memberships tonight, and those 10 people know who they are, who got memberships. And remember, they last for a month. If you do want to continue it, you just got to click the join button after the month ends and rejoin that way. So, excellent. Thank you very much indeed for his generosity. Until then, enjoy your evening, whatever you're doing. And Mad Max says, look forward to seeing you all in the pre-match. Take care all. Yeah, thanks, mate. Cheers. Night, says Alan. Good night to you, mate. Hope. And Liam says 1-0 Chelsea. Yeah, we'll see, mate. We'll see. But yeah. And do hit that subscribe and that like. That'll be absolutely fantastic as well, mate. And yeah, I don't know what's going on with your club, but it's just nothing's clicking there, is it, with them players? Is it your manager? Is it the players? Who knows? But anyway, that's for another day for Chelsea. But for tomorrow's game, come on, Toon, get out there, beat Fulham. Let's get back on track and let's start climbing that Premier League table once and for all. He says shite. There we go. Perfectly said, mate. Perfectly said. Until then, enjoy your evening, whatever you're doing, and see you all later. Away the lads.